Order 66.
Trust no one. Trust only in the Force.
What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a few days since our last video, and that's only because I've had a lot going on in life at the moment. But today, we are talking about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I've recently completed the game, so I'm here to give you my review on it. Don't worry though, if you haven't played it for yourself yet, because I've always kept my reviews spoiler free. Today is no exception. But with that being said, if you want to go check out my full Let's Play series, then the playlist is in the description. In any case, let's kick off this episode of Slashbang's weekly commentary. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This game is the first single-player Star Wars game to be released in around 10 years. Developed by Respawn Entertainment, these guys make Titanfall, Apex Legends, you know the guys. It tells the tale of a young Jedi Padawan who survived Order 66 and lived in hiding for years in constant fear of the Empire. Very shortly into the game, he gets discovered and has begun to be hunted down by Inquisitors throughout the journey of the game. JFO, that's what we're calling it, JFO does a great job at establishing its characters through a multitude of different techniques, from just sheer storytelling to flashbacks, in-depth dialogue, and many scenes with camera angles and shots that would leave any film analyst wanting more. And it's in a video game, so how cool is that? Throughout playing this game, I found myself getting attached to most characters on the journey, even the ones with minimal screen time, because Respawn are just that good at establishing their characters. The dialogue in the game's many cutscenes and even in general gameplay felt truly meaningful, and that every word mattered. There is a fair amount of dialogue in this game, but it doesn't take away or distract from anything. It merely enhances the experience. Whilst playing, I found myself comparing the dialogue in gameplay to Halo 4. I know that's kind of stupid, but you know, in Halo 4, Cortana never shut the fuck up and how it was so annoying. In JFO though, I was on the edge of my seat every time someone talked. Even if I'm, you know, about to slice some stormtrooper's head off or whatever, I was genuinely interested in what everyone had to say, so I always stopped and listened. I didn't fucking talk, I didn't make any noise, because I just wanted to hear what they were saying. The game is just that well written. Gameplay wise, we see a big difference in terms of power if we are comparing JFO to similar games The Force Unleashed. Cal is a Padawan who never finished his training, never truly finalized his lightsaber technique, and above all else, he also cut himself off from the Force. Our protagonist is not OP, and as such we see a pretty big difficulty jump. Hell, he has trouble with stormtroopers, for God's sakes. This game can be hard on higher difficulties, probably harder than a Dark Souls game in terms of boss fights. The gameplay completely relies on your reaction times on these difficulties, testing your ability to parry an enemy or dodge out of the way. JFO is about patience and waiting for the right moment to strike, much like how a Jedi would actually fight. In my opinion, this game is meant to be played on the higher difficulties for the same reasons I just gave. Because in the lower difficulties, you can actually just choose to hack and slash and you'll get there in the end, feeling more powerful than what Cal actually should be. Unfortunately, if you're like me and don't have the patience to wait 30 seconds to over a minute every time you die just to respawn, then perhaps the high difficulties aren't for you. That's right, this game has a loading screen problem. Granted, this could just be a console problem, but JFO has terrible load times, and it completely sullies the max difficulty experience. Playing on a hard difficulty is all about trial and error, finding what works and dying when it doesn't. But in JFO, the punishment of load times is enough to put anyone off. I had to take breaks from the game because the load times were just giving me the shits to that extent. So I just had to lower the difficulty and just rip my teeth through the easier gameplay. And what makes it worse is that games like Dark Souls have nowhere near the same load times. JFO is a substantially smaller game than Dark Souls, but Dark Souls has a better load time. It doesn't make sense to me. I had to stop playing on the higher difficulties, like I said, because these load times were just so bad. It just made me mad every time I died, not because of the game itself, but because it can't respawn me within a couple of seconds like most games can. It was infuriating, Kazzy. With my biggest complaint out of the way, let's move on to level design. JFO has beautiful level design that it matches the planet's environments rather perfectly without spoiling what planets you go to. I will just say that any Star Wars fan will likely come to love the level design in the game. Puzzles were really well implemented as well, again forcing the player to be patient and focus on their surroundings to find the way forward, much like a Jedi. I have a few opinions about the ending of the game. I won't get into specifics, obviously spoiler free. I felt like the ending's presentation was phenomenal, but the result of said ending kind of felt like we went through the whole journey for nothing. That's all I'm going to say about it, because I don't want to spoil anything. But with that, guys, we have actually reached the end of the video. Wow! This one was a bit of a long one, eh? Was it? Actually, no, never mind. The script was long, but I guess I just talked quickly. But going off of everything I just said, I'm not going to be too generous with the game because the loading times was actually a really big thing for me. So I'm going to give this game an 8.9, taking off 1% for the ending and about 10% for the load times. This game was beautiful, and much like The Mandalorian, which is currently airing on Disney+, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order truly feels like it is a part of Star Wars. It feels like it's a part of the universe. It fits in with the timeline and everything makes sense in it. It reintroduces a lot of things from old canon too and expands on the Inquisitors to quite a degree. I love this game, I really did, and I would highly recommend anyone who loves Star Wars to go pick it up. Or if you can't, then go watch my Let's Play! But anyways, guys, that's all from me. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, please be sure to subscribe, leave a like. Also, be sure to check out my Twitter, Twitch, and Mixer, you know, they're in the channel links, so go check all those out. If you are already subscribed, though, I will see you all in the next one.
Just do it! You're not gonna stop. What are you waiting for? Just do it! Make your dreams come true! Nothing is impossible! Do it! Do it! Yes, you can! Just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Make your dreams come true!